So my name is Ben Thorpe. I'm the Managing Director for Glory Global Solutions based in Singapore, but I manage Asia Pacific. Glory Global Solutions, we're the leading cash technology solutions company in the world, headquartered in Japan, over 9,000 people around the world, in 28 dedicated offices with revenues of over $2 billion, all from the cash industry. It's really interesting, the cash handling world and retail are coming together very quickly. Over many years in the past, this was always a very difficult conversation. There were always many other things to invest in for retailers. But right now, with increasing costs of staff, increasing rents, ever thinner margins, more competition from discounters and from online shoppers or online retailers as well, that we're finding retail organizations, both big and small, are paying more and more attention to what we call their retail cash supply chain. Because frankly, it's expensive, but it is a mode of payment that customers still really love, and we're seeing more and more cash going through their channels, and so retailers are coming to us and saying, how can we work together? How can we make this a better business together? It's really interesting that a lot of people think that cash is about to die, and a lot of payment organizations out there, especially MasterCard, run very active campaigns saying cash is dead. But anyone who looks actually at the data, both here in Asia, but also around the world, will see a very clear trend. Singapore is an incredibly automated society with many different alternative payment choices, but we know that in the last 10 years alone, the number of notes in circulation has increased by 135%. And that's no different from Indonesia, Thailand, India. But if you look at the UK, Europe, France, the Eurozone, you'd still see an increase of notes in circulation, that's actual physical banknotes, of around about 6% per annum. So that means that cash isn't going away. There are more payment choices out there for sure, but the danger is that if we ignore cash, we're simply actually adding more costs for our retail organization. So I don't think in the next 5 years that's going to change. We are fundamentally an international company, and I think when we look at Asia, we actually don't see fragmentation. We're headquartered in Japan and we've got offices around the region, and so we see challenges everywhere we go, but everywhere we go we're local. And that means that the fragmentation doesn't really affect us so much. What we're finding is that our customers want local solutions, and we're there to provide them because we have to work with the local currency. What we are seeing though is that the challenges that each country and each region are facing are becoming more and more similar. So as I said, increasing costs of space, increasing labor charges, these all mean that there is more pressure on the margins and the profitability of every organization. So we are bringing our expertise from different areas, where we may be working with a supermarket in France or where we're working with a convenience store here in Singapore. Their challenges are very similar around the world, and so we're applying those areas together. What we're also finding though is that a lot of organizations are innovating themselves, and Asia is absolutely no different in that regard. We're finding a lot of innovation from Asian customers who are saying, why don't we try it this way? And that's leading us to be an even more innovative organization ourselves. For us, there's always excitement around cash. When there are new banknotes, it means we have new challenges. And this year, there are new notes in Australia, New Zealand. There's talk of new notes around the region as well for a large part of ASEAN. What we're doing is bringing in our new Cash Infinity solutions. This is front office cash, so banknote and coin recycling, as well as back office automation. We've got a couple of leading territories that are already doing this. Here in Singapore, we've got a couple of very well established customers, but we're taking this innovation to Malaysia. We're looking at Thailand, Indonesia this year. But equally on the banking front, we're seeing banks asking us to provide them with the same solutions, as they're seeing a mixture of banking and retailers coming together and looking at how they can work better on cash handling together. What's been really interesting here on day one so far is from the minute the exhibition opened, in fact even before it opened, we had customers coming to us on the stand. We've had customers from Mongolia, obviously closer to home here, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. We've had banks, we've had retailers, we've had a very strong domestic contingent. We've had Australians, New Zealanders. So it really is a good draw card of bringing people together. And that's meaning that we're having some very interesting conversations where the challenges seem to be similar, but each with a separate nuance. And we're hoping that will continue into day two and gather more feedback on what we need to do next with our customers.